What's up guys, I'm back for another spawntube tutorial. This time we're going to be checking out the map Rewind, and just like Lowtown, this map is also one of the easiest to tube on and to learn how to tube on. Knowing that, I figured let's just get all of the easy tutorials out of the way. That way I can get these videos out much sooner over these next few weeks or so while we're waiting for the first season to drop. Now I'm sure almost all of you guys already know how to tube on this map, but there are other spots on this map that I'm going to show you that will give you more options to go to in case the enemies stop running down the middle every round, you know what I mean? So hopefully by the end of this video you end up learning something new. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Starting things off on the attacking side, I've got 3 different spots to show you on the side. Beginning with this first one, where you shoot your tube just straight down the middle, it should land somewhere by the blue vein in the middle of the street, preventing enemies from going straight forward into video store or going to the left into restaurant. Now I'm actually going to show you 3 different ways to line up your shot to get your tube to land by the van. The first one will just be a general way of shooting your tube. Basically wherever you're standing on the team, look in a general area, should land somewhere by the van. For this, you're going to look towards the clouds. You want to find this opening where you have this thin top and bottom opening, and just like the clouds in Lowtown, they do loop back around, so in case you don't see it the first time, it comes right back just like that. You just want to look at that, aim in this general direction, and if you need a second, just try to adjust your crosshairs to look something similar to mine. But basically once you have this lined up, again, should land somewhere by the van, you're good to shoot from here. Now I'm just going to quickly show you the other 2 ways to get your tube to land by the van, and this is if you want a more accurate and consistent shot. It might cost you about half a second or so to get this lined up, but I think it still works perfectly well. So the first method would be standing next to the stop sign like so. You're going to look towards the corner of the building in front of you, and then you want the top line of your vertical bar lined up with the very corner of said building, and it's going to look like this right before you shoot. You get this off quick enough, you'll be able to get 1 or 2 of them if they do run forward. The other one would be next to the wooden pole, just next to the stop sign. You want to look towards the shadow in the middle, the one that casts down a little bit lower. You want the top line of your vertical bar again lined up with that, but just inching it to the left a little bit, so the lineup looks exactly like this. And again, you get this off quick enough, you'll be able to get them pretty effectively, in my opinion. The next spot I'm going to be showing you is a good way to get the enemies that avoid running straight forward towards the van and instead try to run around the Beepers building headed towards the back alleyway. Now this spot works perfectly as a secondary spot, so if you shoot your tube right in the beginning with your second tube out, what you're going to do is stand next to the stop sign. You're going to look towards the very left edge of this overhead light. And then you want to look up until the bottom line of your vertical bar is just lined up with this corner of the building sticking out like so. Want to have this lined up as best as you can, and from here you're good to shoot. And this third spot will be how to get the enemies that, again, try to avoid running straight forward next to the van and instead try to go around the SWAT car and run underneath the roof to get to the video store on the backside. So for this one, you're going to, again, stand next to the stop sign, and you won't really have time to use this as a secondary spot. You have to be pretty quick to probably get somebody, but it is still a spot that you can try in case they are trying to avoid those tubes going straight down the middle. Again, standing next to the stop sign, you want to have your outer left line lined up with this part of the building right here where it caves in. You want that outer part of it lined up with that line on the building, and then you want the top line of the vertical bar touching the top of the roof. All in all, your lineup should look just like this, and if you're able to get this off quick enough, you should be able to get anyone that is avoiding the van spot by running next to the SWAT car. So from here, good shoot. Now switching over to the defending side, I also have 3 spots to show you on the side. Beginning with this first one where you shoot your tube just straight over the middle. It lands right by the cop car. Should be able to stop anyone that's running through that back alleyway at the start of the round. So no matter where you're standing on the team, you always want to look for this little chip amongst the top of the trees right there. And then from here, you want to look up until you are touching the bottom part of the slanted cloud that constantly goes to the right. Again, the clouds loop, so if you don't see it the first time, there it is again, popping up right there. So once more, look at that little chip amongst the top of the trees, find that cloud, moving to the right, aim the bottom part of it, and once you guys all have this lined up, again, perfectly lands next to the cop car, should be able to stop. I mean, anyone going through that back alley with beating. So once you guys have this lined up, you're good to shoot. The next spot I'm going to be showing you how to tube the enemies that avoid running straight forward towards the cop car by running through the first two doors of their spawn building, and they're right around where the A flag is in domination next to the white truck. So this could be used as a secondary spot if you're fast enough. Basically, you're going to come over to the cop car, lean up against it. You want the bottom line of your vertical bar right where the top part of the video store is. Have it lined up like this, but you actually want to have it a little bit higher than that. So right about here, this is just to avoid hitting the top of the building. So once you have this lined up, you're good to shoot. And the third spot I'll be showing you is how to tube the enemies that avoid running straight forward in general, and they make a hard right instead, going behind the radio house, headed towards the main street. For this spot, you're going to look over here, run over to the pillar, lean up against it, look for the clock in the background. You want to aim in this direction, and then you want to look up, and you want to really use your eyes here, but you want to have the top line of your vertical bar just above the drive-through sign to the right. So as long as your lineup looks anything close to this, it should clear the roof. From here, you're good to shoot.
Got him on the back foot.
And that's going to conclude this tutorial. I appreciate everyone that watched all the way through, or if you're just here for specific spots, I appreciate you as well. Like I said earlier, this map is one of the easiest to tube on, and it's definitely one of my favorites to tube on as well. And I want to take this time to give a quick shout out to Lou the Don on TikTok, who hit a 6-in-1 on this map. I think it's the world's first. Regardless, it was pretty sick, and the video is blowing up like crazy right now, so I highly recommend checking it out. It's like 5 seconds, worth your time. Give it a like. It's awesome. With all that said, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.